Hey, what's up everybody, Justin here, and today I'm going to be reviewing a Transformers series that's been largely exclusive to Japan, and that is Transformers Headmasters. So, while the original G1 Transformers ended in 1987, throughout the world, it still exclusively continued in Japan. As opposed to broadcasting the four-part Rebirth miniseries of the US Transformers series, Toei and Takara decided to continue with a fresh series, Headmasters. While the Headmasters were in the particular Rebirth miniseries, they became the central characters in this respective one, hence it's called Headmasters. So with the Transformers, of course you have the other subgroups like the Constructicons, the Dinobots, the Aerobots, the Insecticons, and so on. But what makes the Headmasters unique compared to these various subunits of the Transformers is that the Headmasters are human size, and but can transform into a head that then connect to what you call a transector, a body which is the same size of a regular Transformer. And with the Cybertrons, or the Autobots in the American release, Fortress Maximum assumes leadership, while Megazeric becomes the new leader of the Destrons, or the Decepticons in the US. So, for those of you that wanted more than what the original series had to offer, then Headmasters is truly more than meets the eye. While the Headmasters appropriately dominates this edition of Transformers, many OG G1 characters continue to be mainstays on both sides of the conflict. Some retain their identities from the original series, while there are others that come back with some major upgrades. So if you want to see a Japanese take of Transformers without its American influences from, Marvel or Hasbro, Headmasters will expand your horizons as a great supplement to the original G1 series. So, if you're a hardcore fan of DBZ, then you already know who Hironobu Kageyama is. While he is largely famous for doing both opening themes to Dragon Ball Z, he happens to contribute to the soundtrack of Headmasters as well. The opening theme song is more in tune with the second opening theme to Saint Seiya with its intensity, while the ending theme captures more of its campy style akin to the DBZ songs. He also contributed to a good amount of insert songs, and we promise you'll get a kick out of the songs he made for the Destrons. And the Headmasters, they take the forefront of the series, as I said before, and they offer something fresh. The concept of the Headmasters is largely explored throughout this series. Fortress Maximus and Megazeric are great leaders for the Cybertrons and Destrons, and they share a fresh rivalry if you don't watch, Optimus Prime and Megatron anymore. Chrome Dome, the sub-commander of the Cybertrons, plays a very huge role in making you love the Headmasters, and the Destrons have some unique characters that are triple changers, such as A-Face and Snapdragon. So, though Convoy doesn't get to come back, or Optimus Prime in the English version doesn't get to come back this time, very early in the series, Soundwave, or in broadcast, also known as Blaster, do kill each other in battle, but are respectively rebuilt as Sound Blaster and Twincast, and they become stronger than ever. However, some old characters retain their roles, such as, Cup, RC, and Six Shot, a Six Changer who has a strong presence in this series, plus some human characters such as, Daniel and Spike, will still have a huge presence in Headmasters. And just like in your typical Marvel comic where death and rebirth are practically a revolving door, Optimus Prime, or Convoy in the original Japanese, he died in the movie only to come back the following year, and he falls in battle in this series once again. His death isn't really as dramatic as the one he had in the movie, but once again just feels like a weaker excuse to tell audiences that his toy will no longer be on sale or in production anymore. And for those of you who grew up with the original G1, you're pretty much accustomed to the voices of Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, Chris Latta, and Casey Kasem playing your favorite characters. As for the Japanese cast, despite the big names of, let's say, Tessho Genda as Convoy and Seizo Kato as Galvatron being in the series, they don't come across as charismatic and, as their American counterparts. Plus, the Japanese voice acting, they don't modulate or auto-tune, or if we want to use the word, a majority of the characters' voices like the US does to make them, sound like they're robotic. They sound like they're regular people. It just doesn't really feel natural. However, I promise that you'll love Banjo Ginga as the voice of Megazeric. And While this is a Japanese continuation of G1 Transformers, watching the first series is by no means a prerequisite, despite largely appealing to longtime fans. Since it mostly focuses on the new characters, you can watch this like it's an entirely separate series. While hardcore fans will miss Optimus Prime and the Megatron characters, sometimes you need to watch some new fights as well. If the Japanese sound department bother modulating the voices, I think it would be a perfect series. And it would be more natural. It just sounds weird hearing robots talking without those kinds of voices. Other than that, there are no severe flaws that are likely to turn you off from this series.